UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Business Roundup. We are glad that you have tuned in to catch up with some of the trending business stories from the week. To the highlights tonight. Bukasa Port's updated feasibility study shows business viability. Nigeria-Uganda Business Summit tackles trade gaps. Fake is Fake Agro Inputs campaign targets agricultural value chain. And lastly, CRIC to train electricity personnel in order to boost Uganda's energy mix. For all these and more, stay tuned. It's time for business. On to our first story. The Ministry of Works and Transport has this week received an updated feasibility study on the development of the Bukasa port. The study was conducted by Gulf Consult. Let's have a look.
While we are reviewing the feasibility study, we want to see at this point in time that the construction of this port is economically viable, financially sustainable, and technically feasible. And indeed, when we looked at the study, we have realized that the construction of the port is economically viable.
Bukasa Port is envisaged to be an ultra-modern facility that will handle international cargo only and mainly from the central corridor that is served by the Port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania.
This corridor, at its height in 1995, used to transport up to 60% of Uganda-bound cargo. However, to date is transporting less than 5%, even though the cargo volumes have grown, meaning that most of the transport is done by road. Therefore, the need for reliable and multiple accesses to the sea for the Great Lakes landlocked country is more pressing now more than ever.
The port will not only serve Central Corridor per se, it will serve both the Central Corridor and the Northern Corridor. But more emphasis is more on Central Corridor. Why? Because most of the traffic, analysis has showed that most of the traffic is higher by the Central Corridor. If it is really provided by those vessels, it is higher than the Northern Corridor.
With an estimated project cost of over Euro 200 million or approximately 820 billion Ugandan shillings, Bukasa Port implementation has faced delays. Benon Kajuna, the Director of Transport at the Ministry of Works and Transport, sheds more light on the matter.
We didn't have enough money to pay the PAPs, but I would like to thank the Ministry of Finance. They have been able to give us enough funds. We still need some more 5 or so billion to complete the compensation. But finance has been able to come in and sort out that challenge of the financing. We also had the challenges of getting a contractor to do the swamp reclamation and surcharging. Because the bids which we are receiving were a bit expensive. So it took us some more time and we wasted some time on that.
According to stakeholders, the revival of the Central Corridor transport via Lake Victoria requires efficient ports and intermodal facilities.
This is the time to revive the Central Corridor, and this will be a key part to unlock the Bukasa Port project in terms of containerization, what they want to introduce, the large capacity of volume cargo, connecting with the Tanzania railway system and Uganda railway system. I think is going to really strengthen the connectivity, and for the business community, having that alternative to the sea is going to be a great relief.
The total forecasted traffic from all directions is 1 million tons in 2025, with an estimated long-term tonnage throughput to 4.4 million tons in 2045. Dennis Igoa and Charlotte Muge for UBC Business.
The Nigeria-Uganda Business Summit, hosted by the Uganda Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Nigerian High Commission, focused on tackling various issues affecting trade between the two countries. We have more in the following report. Some of the topics discussed included investment opportunities, trade policies, infrastructure and transportation, among others.
As Africa, we have to trade amongst ourselves, but how do we make transportation and logistics very convenient so that it enhances the investments?
According to statistics presented at the summit, the balance of trade between the two countries is largely in favor of Nigeria, seeing imports from the West African country take over 80% of our trade value.
Generally speaking, in terms of political relation, diplomatic relation, cultural relation, we do not have any problem. It is just this economic and trade. And that is why we are trying to emphasize that this is the time for us to wake up from our slumber. Let us bring the two communities together. Let us facilitate for them as government officials to come up with legal and technical platform for them to be able to do business together.
There have been various challenges hindering the growth of trade between the two countries. Some of these challenges include cumbersome trade procedures, non-tariff barriers, and inadequate infrastructure founded on a weak trade agreement.
General lack of awareness of the availability of the market in West Africa. Secondly, the cost of doing business between Uganda and Nigeria currently remains very high, essentially because of the difficulties in transportation, because of the existence of non-tariff barriers, and because, as we speak right now, both Uganda and Nigeria have not really leveraged on the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which is supposed to create a conducive environment to scale up trade between our two countries.
During the summit, both countries agreed to work together to address these challenges and create a more conducive environment for trade and investment. They also pledged to deepen economic ties and explore new areas of cooperation.
The main interaction we have with Nigeria is really out of the music and entertainment industry and also the textile and fabric industry. That's the main. And you can see last year we only had a volume of about only $25 million US.
This is just the first step, okay? We are going to organize virtual meetings, physical meetings, and we are going to ensure that whatever gains we are coming up with from here, we take it home.
The need for both countries to leverage the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to close the trade gaps and promote intra-African trade was a key highlight.
The Ugandan ambassador to Nigeria talked about the experience of a Nigerian company that was trying to get goods into Uganda, having to go through Dubai and through Europe and then to Mombasa and then back to Uganda. These are the issues that we have to tackle. The infrastructure, bridging the infrastructural gap within Africa and opening up our roadways, our railways to allow the free movement of goods within the African continent.
Wadulo, Arnold, UBC News in Kampala. Buyers of agricultural inputs are urged to take the frontline role in combating counterfeits in the Ugandan market. In the launch of the Fake is Fake campaign in Mbale City, various stakeholders raised concerns about risks of counterfeits to livelihoods, human health, as well as livestock health.
The surge in counterfeit agro inputs is a big concern to Uganda's economy and livelihood. Fake agro inputs affect an entire value chain, right from the farmers to the consumers, and its adverse effects include reduction in productivity, loss of trust, lower demand for high-quality inputs, and reduction in earnings for producers.
At the end of the day, there's a few major groups that are impacted by the effects of counterfeit inputs. One would be the businesses, the private sector who are trying to sell genuine products. They suffer because they're not getting their products out, they're not getting the prices that they deserve, and they're losing out to a lot of the informal businesses. The second group would be the farmers. The farmers are really suffering as well. As we saw from a skit that was performed earlier today, you could see the reality when a farmer is unintentionally using counterfeit inputs. They will suffer from a poor yield, and and therefore they will not be earning what they deserve to be earning to afford livelihoods for themselves and for their families.
Fake is Fake campaign, launched in Bale City, is a proactive effort by various stakeholders and development partners whose goal is to tackle the challenge head-on.
This is a main problem, and its impact on productivity, its impact on the health, especially for the agrochemicals, is massive. And unless we do something, a concerted effort to tackle it, it will continue to hinder our progress towards commercial agriculture in Uganda.
To reach wider masses and change mindset, the campaign has an appealing approach, using local musicians and community radio stations as a medium of sending content and communication.
In the implementation of our programs to defeat fakeism and backwardness and the low economy that we have, our president told us there are 7 pillars. And if you can remember all of them, the first pillar is about agriculture and value addition. There is no way we can continue with value addition if we don't deal with the fakeness from the grassroots, from the farmer level.
Our core focus is to build capacity of the local people to actually continue with these messages, continue with the interventions that we are doing, so that it is sustainable over a long period of time. And that's why we involve different people and build their capacity to continue with these efforts.
The establishment of regional fakes desk and the introduction of agro-inputs digital verification codes are expected to complement the drama skits and music.
Basically, a fakes desk is a reporting mechanism, a redress mechanism. On the desk, we have put all the stakeholders, we brought them together. We are going to sign memorandums of understanding with the Uganda police, with the URSB, with the agriculture police, with the DPP, with the courts, to ensure that we make it easier for you and me to report these cases. We make it easier to investigate the counterfeit cases. We make it easier to prosecute and get justice for the victims of counterfeit.
However, there is a general appeal by the concerned parties of a buy-in by ordinary people in order to make headway in fighting the vice.
We can do all the research, we can give you all the numbers, all the statistics of usage of inputs, at around the 20% mark for fertilizers, for seeds, for agrochemicals. But at the end of the day, if we're not getting the message out, if farmers are not adopting these genuine products, then the entire economy will be suffering.
Our prayer is that all those who are having a stake in this can come together and we create a momentum towards curtailing counterfeits in Uganda.
Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
The Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation, CREEC, has launched its academy aimed at training personnel to set up and manage electricity mini-grids in rural areas. The academy is expected to boost Uganda's energy mix and catalyze social and economic development. The training program was attended by professionals from various fields and covered topics such as mini-grid design, installation, operation and maintenance, community engagement and financial management. The academy is designed to provide practical skills and knowledge to equip learners with the ability to successfully set up and manage mini-grids in rural areas.
We do have a number of renewable energy solutions, solar mini-grids deployed. We do have some solar home systems that are deployed, but we face a great challenge in as far as, first and foremost, the competencies of the technicians that install these systems. But then when it comes to operation and maintenance, we also have a huge gap in terms of competent personnel and manpower to maintain these installations.
The training program is crucial to spurring rural electrification in Uganda. The use of mini-grids is an effective solution to bridge the gap and provide reliable and sustainable electricity in these areas. The Academy's launch and the training program align with the energy sector's ambitious goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. To achieve this, Uganda aims to generate 40% of its electricity from renewable energy sources by 2040.
This is one of the ways that the sector will advance in terms of sustainable energy systems being installed and the government or the nation achieving its set targets.
During this training program, learners were introduced to various methodologies for setting up and managing mini-grids, including technical and financial aspects, and they were trained on how to conduct feasibility studies, design and install mini-grids, and engage with the local community to ensure sustainable operations.
Skilling has been a part of CRIC from the beginning. CRIC has been here for over 20 years, and we've been doing trainings on different renewable energy topics, on bioenergy, solar, PV, now to solar thermal, solar for productive use, energy efficiency, small hydro power. So it's been a part of CRIC. What we are doing now is to see how to scale up those initiatives.
Uganda's estimated generated electricity capacity is projected to be around 52 megawatts by 2040, with 40% of this coming from renewable sources. The Academy's launch and the training program conducted by CRIC and the Energy Ministry are critical steps towards achieving this target. Wadulo, UBC News in Kampala. The Mbale Wildlife Zoo is fostering wildlife conservation through education. Set up in 2016, the Eco-Tourist Lodge and Zoo that overlooks the scenic Wanale Hill and its breathtaking waterfalls is appreciated by the communities.
Located on the slopes of Wanale Hill in Mbale City is the Kumbale Ecotourism Lodge and a privately owned zoo under the same management. Established 7 years ago, this facility is unique and what it offers is a niche product in the eastern region of the country.
So you're welcome to Kumbale Ecotourist Lodge. This is premises, so wonderful, researched accommodation. Just right here, as you see, we have the falls. The other side, we have up here a bar and restaurant. And so when you visit us at Kumbale Ecotourist Lodge, you have a wonderful time.
According to the management team and the guides, the zoo is playing a crucial role in fostering wildlife conservation through education. With over 30 species of wildlife, Kumbale works in concert with relevant authorities and is fully licensed to operate.
Here we are in touch with the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, Conservation and Education Center in Entebbe, that most of the times they send their students here to carry out research. Because of recent breeding colobus monkey in exhibit, it has not been there, but Kumbale Wildlife Education Center we have managed, and now we have at least 2 baby ones being born in this place.
It was set up to offer an affordable alternative to the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, located about 250 kilometers away in Entebbe.
Kumbale Ecotourist Lodge, as you hear the word tourist, it's a place that was designed to give a good tourist experience to customers here in the region, in eastern Uganda, Mbale. People have always traveled to Entebbe to go and see the wild animals. But then bringing this zoo closer was to give the people in eastern region an opportunity to have a face-to-face view or even interaction with the animals.
Some of the major attractions of the Mbale Wildlife Zoo are the Uganda cobs, camels, snakes, different species of monkeys, cats, and the fastest bird on 2 legs, the ostrich.
Dana! Dana! Come on! Dana! Hey, you're welcome. Come on.
Here we target schools, churches, and also NGOs that deal with young children. But not only that, we are open to even to the public that comes around, offering them free knowledge, information about wild animals.
Now that the schools are closed for holidays, the Mbale Zoo has gates opened. Therefore, spare some time and enjoy the incredible opportunity to get close to the animals and also enjoy other amenities such as accommodation, hiking and sightseeing.
Tuza Manufacturers, a startup that specializes in herbal beverages and unique detergents, plans to expand its product line and increase its customer base after a successful second year in business. Now, the company is a brainchild of a group of young entrepreneurs from Makerere University Business School. The company's herbal beverages are made from locally sourced raw products like pineapples, ginger and hibiscus. Tuza's unique detergents are infused with lavender, which works as a mosquito repellent.
We have started paying our members because we are students. We are just using our side hustles, our pocket money from our parents to build the brand. Then after when we have broken through, that's when we should start paying our members.
Tuza has leveraged social media marketing to leverage out more clients while also tapping into the available market within the university. However, like any other startup, Tuza faces challenges such as a small capital base and a lack of trust by potential funders.
Monthly, we are able to raise like 400 on the account, basically coming from our various sales of liquid soap, the drinks and the detergents.
The company is yet to develop robust systems to operate profitably. Fortunately, Tuza has been able to rely on incubators like the MOOBS Entrepreneurship Innovation and Incubation Center for support.
MOOBS Incubation and Entrepreneurship Center, it has helped us to get for us mentors who have helped us in our branding, our marketing, and where we are. Because at least we have been able to build a vision, a mission, to work on our pitch decks, to know how we can handle our customers, market penetration, our finances. Of course, as students, some of us will lack that knowledge.
The center was established in 1998 as an outreach center for the Makerere University Business School to help turn students' ideas into reality. Incubators like this one are critical in helping young entrepreneurs like those at Tuza to overcome the challenges they face.
So our target marketers, Tuza Industries, Tuza manufacturers, the middle income earners, and then the students, the young students, the young youth, like we as students, and other youth that are outside the campus or the university.
According to the Uganda Registration Services Bureau, the number of companies registered in 2020-2021 reduced by 29.1% from 25,625 to 18,198 in 2021-2022. This reduction was attributed to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted many businesses in the country. However, with ease of restrictions, the number of new companies being registered is rising again. Despite the challenges faced by startups like Tuza, the company is optimistic about the future.
We are on different e-commerce platforms so that people can order and see our products wherever they are. So, for example, when we are using social media, these people see us and our products, and they are able to order, and we supply.
Which e-commerce platform is it?
Currently, we are using Nigeria-Uganda and Sumik Online, who is also a startup entrepreneur at the MOOBS Incubation Center.
Tuza plans to expand its product line and increase its customer base through aggressive marketing strategies. The company is also exploring new ways to finance its operations, including crowdfunding and partnerships with other businesses. Tuza's success demonstrates the importance of supporting young entrepreneurs and startups in Uganda. With the right resources and support, these businesses can thrive and contribute to the country's economic growth. Wadulo, Mark Arnold for the Business Roundup.
Parliament and the government have been discussing the establishment of a comprehensive labor migration policy framework. That is really important. It is really important because what is at stake here is the lives of those workers, right? But it is also the fact that this represents an important area for providing employment for our young people. It is also important because we generate close to $1.2 billion from remittances that come from people who are working outside.
The Microfinance Support Center has launched a loan product for all market vendors in Kampala, which will see beneficiaries borrow money at an interest rate of only 1% per month. The unveiling ceremony was at Nakasero Market in Kampala. Check this out in our Sounds of Business.
Replace old inefficient appliances with more efficient ones. Lower the temperature after the cooking appliances have acquired the maximum heat while cooking. Use a pressure cooker to cook hard foods like beans, meat, peas and rice. Switch off cooking appliances when not in use. Cover cooking saucepans to minimize energy wastage. Use solid electric plates instead of electric coils. Avoid frequent cooking. Cooking should be done at least once. Boil water with a kettle that has a thermostat rather than a cooker. Use heat-conserving appliances like food flasks to avoid unnecessary warming of food.
Now, as we sign out, we leave you with some words of advice. The quality of our lives often depends on our habits. The quality of your habits will usually determine the quality of your success. This is an excerpt from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Otherwise, thank you for being a part of this week's episode of the Weekly Business Roundup. With me, your host, Wadulo, Mark Arnold. Catch us on the next same time, same place. From the team, I must say good night.